What's up, all you minties? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and join me today for an advanced look at two Marvel Masterworks dropping this week from Marvel Comics. So, join me. And welcome back, everybody. Before getting started, a huge thank you to David Gabriel and the fine folks at Marvel for sending us advanced copies of these two Marvel Masterworks. Both of these books are due out in the direct market on May 19th, and then a couple of weeks later in the book market. So what we're looking at here is the latest volume of The Incredible Hulk and Brother Voodoo Volume 1. So let's take a look at Brother Voodoo, but I just wanted to showcase both of them together and what they look like with their spines when you have them on the shelf. And as always, there's two different covers. There's a variant cover, a direct market cover, and then the standard edition cover. These are the standard edition covers. But for the direct market covers, they use the exact same image that you see here in the front. So let's look at Brother Voodoo first. So here we have Volume 1 of Brother Voodoo, retailing for $75, and it comes, like all the other Marvel Masterworks, with a dust jacket. So let's take that out. And here are the flaps of the dust jacket. Get an idea of what that looks like. So here we have Brother Voodoo, Volume 1. Not sure if there's ever going to be a Volume 2. Here's that marble slab that they put here for the design of the end pages. And Brother Voodoo. All the creators down here and what it collects. We'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. Here are the full list of creators, including all the colorists, letterers, inkers, pencilers, and of course the writers. All the credits. And then you have your table of contents here with an image of Brother Voodoo there. Here's an introduction by Ron Wilson, who talks about his time, or the time that he got to draw Brother Voodoo. So, it all kicks off with Strange Tales number 169. So this collects Strange Tales 169 to 173, Marvel Team Up 24, Werewolf by Night 39 through 41, Marvel 2 and 141, Doctor Strange 48, Moon Knight 21, and then material from Tales of the Zombie 6 and 10, Tomb of Dracula 34 through 37, Werewolf by Night 38, and Marvel Superheroes number 1. And it also contains material from the Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme 16 through 17 and number 20. So, Brother Voodoo, or who some of you may know if you're reading comic books up to date, or you're reading current comic books, probably know him as Dr. Voodoo. So it's the story of Jericho Drum, this gentleman right here. Well, let me show you. So here we go. Let's look at this page really quick. So we have Jericho Drum returning to his homeland of Haiti after being gone for over a decade to become a doctor and a physician. His brother is dying. This is Daniel Drum, and they're twin brothers. And this is very important to his origin, because it's kind of a flashback too. It starts off with him already being able to use his powers as Brother Voodoo, and then you find out in Strange Tales how exactly it all happened. So his brother's dying because he's cursed. He has been cursed by Damballa, which is this priest right here of snakes. So Jericho is like, no, I'm gonna be able to fix you. I'm a physician. This is ridiculous. I don't believe in any of this. But then he starts believing, especially when his brother ends up dying. So his brother makes Jericho promise that he will go and see Papa Jumbo and learn the ways of voodoo through Papa Jumbo. So Papa Jumbo becomes his Mr. Miyagi, if you will, his Mickey from Rocky, and he will train him to become Brother Voodoo. And one of the things Papa Jumbo does to give him power is to let his brother's spirit, Daniel's spirit, live inside of him, so that when he needs it, Daniel's spirit can go and take over somebody else's body. And that's pretty much the origin of Brother Voodoo. So now Jericho believes in all of this, and he becomes Haiti's new Brother Voodoo, taking down Damballa here, and then eventually fighting other mystic arts people. There's something interesting during this time too that at least I found interesting. So a lot of this, if you have like the Marvel Horror Lives Again omnibus, is collected there. But one of the things that was happening during this time is that this is during the Comics Code era. The Comics Code was very restricting. Like, you couldn't use things like Frankenstein or werewolves or vampires. You couldn't use certain names in comics. Then they started to become less and less stern about these things. But one of the things that they wouldn't let up on, which is kind of interesting, is the word zombies. So in these particular early stories, they use the term Zombies to refer to zombies. I find that ironic enough because a year later, we have Brother Voodoo in a zombie magazine. And I love that stuff because it's all black and white. So you have the talents in here of Len Wein, Doug Moench, Marv Wolfman, David Anthony Kraft, Roger Stern, Roy Thomas, and then the wonderful pencils. A lot of this is drawn by Gene Colan. Don Perlin ends up drawing some stuff. Tony DeZuniga does the black and white art in here, some of it. Ron Wilson, who did the introduction, Marshall Rogers, and Fred Hembeck, who has a pretty interesting style here that a lot of people, including myself, are not accustomed to when we think of Fred Hembeck. So this is what the art style looks like. Big fan of this era of Gene Colan, even his black and white stuff here. This is what I was talking about. He's in Tales of the Zombie. So even though they couldn't use the word zombie, he later on, about a year later, appears in here in the pages of Tales of the Zombie. Then he teams up with Spider-Man to fight, what is this guy? Moondog, I think. Makes his first appearance here. Teams up with The Thing. Teams up with Doctor Strange, Werewolf by Night. What's interesting is the pages here of the Tomb of Dracula. Yeah, this right here. So when I said collects materials from Tomb of Dracula number 34 through 37, so it's exactly what it says. It's just material from these issues of Tomb of Dracula, because this is when he teams up with Frank Drake, and it's just the pages and panels that he's in. So it's not the full issues, and that's what it means by material. So much so that they even cut out some of the other storylines, so they just pretty much contain the subplot. But let's look at the artwork later on. Here's his team up with Jack Russell, Werewolf by Night issues, Fire Eyes, and then The Thing. So I find this pretty interesting because this era goes all the way from his first appearance. So you have books in here from 1973 all the way up until 1990. So there wasn't that many appearances by Brother Voodoo in the Marvel Universe. Oh, this is what I wanted to show. Yeah, right here, Marvel Superhero Spring Special. This is written by Scott Lobdell and drawn by Fred Hembeck. And Fred Hembeck, you know, this is the guy that Fred Hembeck destroys the Marvel Universe, has a very cartoony style, but he can do some realistic stuff. So, not accustomed to this type of art from him, but here it is. And then let's look in the back here for some extras. There is an issue of Moon Knight, of course. I didn't get to show that, but this is what the artwork here looks like. That's written by Doug Moench. And as far as the extras, we have some original artwork back here, original pages, an original cover here by Gil Kane, and some house ads. Articles on who Brother Voodoo is. And then, there we go. That's right, he does end up fighting Black Talon. Some official handbook to the Marvel Universe guides. This is the Essential Horror Volume 2 cover, and then the biographies that the Masterworks always put towards the end of each book. And as far as the build of this book, it is thick, glossy paper that you're accustomed to from these Marvel Masterworks. Sewn binding with 344 pages, and again, retailing for $75. The Incredible Hulk, Volume 15. So, here's what the front looks like, the issues that are collected in here, and again, the spine that I showed off earlier. Let's get this cover off. So what we're looking at here is the second year of Uncle Roger Stern, writing The Incredible Hulk. And it's also his last year. He ends up taking off. I think Stephen Grant steps in, writes the dialogue for one issue. Here's your introduction by Uncle Raj. I love reading these. And I think you know by now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, how much I enjoy the history lessons I get from these introductions, where these people were at the time, even though these stories took place over 40 years ago. So we do have Sal Buscema, John's brother, and one of the most wonderful artists that has ever graced the pages of Marvel Comics. Now, he is retired. From time to time, you'll see some kind of artwork from him, usually older stuff being recolored for covers. But this is his 4th year on The Incredible Hulk. And he didn't stop. I mean, the man was a machine. So much so that in the introduction, Roger Stern talks about seeing who could draw one of the annuals in here. Because John Byrne didn't have any time. He was off writing and drawing issues of other Marvel comics. So he jokingly said, how about Sal Buscema? You know, the guy's doing the monthly issues. And the editors were like, yeah, sure, he's got enough time. He can do it. And he sure enough cranked it out. Oh, that is so awesome. So we have the fight here with Machine Man. This is pretty fun. It's a 3-issue arc. And it's nothing but a big brawl. And that leads up to, this is the issue I was talking about, of Incredible Hulk number 8. This is the annual number 8, which is co-plotted by John Byrne. And like I mentioned, drawn by Sal Buscema with inks by Alfredo Alcala, who changes Sal's art style a little bit. I like it though. Gives him a nice finish to it, to his art. But it's a big fight between Sasquatch and the Incredible Hulk. And then we come back to something that Roger Stern had been asked to do month by month, and that is wrap up the secret of They, who were an organization that existed in the Marvel Universe. About 5 years prior to this, Len Wein started dropping some hints about them, like funding villains and things like that. So I can't show very much of this because I don't want to spoil the reveal of who the big bad is. But I don't know. You may know already, but this introduces us to Goldbug, not the Transformer, but a character designed by Mark Grunwald. And then, like I said, Uncle Raj ends up leaving the book, and then Stephen Grant steps in to write the dialogue, and of course the final issue in here that's collected. So this does collect the Incredible Hulk 234 to 244, annuals 8 and 9, and then material from the Marvel Treasury Edition 20 and 24. Just showcasing some more of that artwork before we look at the extras here in the back. So actually, let's get to the extras. So here are some covers by Bob Budiansky and Jack Abel from Marvel Treasury Edition number 20. I like that the little logo of Marvel's TV sensation is in a lot of the covers here. There's pinups back here from the Marvel Treasury Edition. That is gorgeous. Pablo Marcos. More Treasury Edition. And then, of course, house ads. This is the design of Goldbug I was talking about by Mark Grunwald. You rarely see any of his artwork because most people think of him as the editor or the writer. Then who is this guy? Of course, there's biographies like they always put, and then what other Marvel Masterworks are available. The book retails for $75. So the book has sewn binding. It does have 296 pages, and it has this thick, glossy paper like all the other Marvel Masterworks do. And one thing I want to point out is that it's not a super glossy finish. The artwork does pop out. But I don't know, I really love the paper that they use on this. I mean, that is why these type of collected editions are the cream of the crop. But anyway, that, as they say, is that. If you're interested in either of these books, don't forget to check out our sponsor, CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online source for collected editions up to 50% off retail price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on excellent packaging, so your stuff gets to you in excellent condition, and they have amazing customer service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And for all you Minties that are watching, if you're a first-time customer, don't forget to mention that Near Mint Condition sent you their way for a promotional credit on free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your source for the hottest books with deep discounts, customer service, and excellent shipping that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of these two Marvel Masterworks. Let me know in the comments down below if you're picking any Masterworks up, if you pick up a specific line, if you pick up every single Marvel Masterworks that comes out. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We put out videos every day. And more importantly, everyone, please stay healthy, stay safe out there, and much love.